Okay, YouTube, what's up? Today I'm going to be showing you a recent trash picking find that I trash picked a couple of weeks ago, or days, I don't know, remember. It's been sitting in the garage for a while and just started to mess with it a couple days ago. So here it is. This is a late 2007 white MacBook. Now, it's the same as my MacBook, just white, of course. Mine's the black one. Now when I got this, plugged it in, came with the charger, everything was here, hard drive, RAM, keyboard, came with the case too. So, it's in great condition too. So I plugged it in, green light came on, turned to orange, indicated it was charging. But, when you go to turn it on, you see nothing happens. It's like dead on arrival. So, what I did was, took out the RAM, found out that the RAM slots were corroded. Don't know why, but the RAM had like this film on it or something that was not normal. Because normal RAM, if I have RAM from a laptop here, this is just DDR, regular DDR RAM, but it's the same thing. You see that the contacts are nice and gold and not corroded at all. Now this one had like this film and powdery stuff over the contacts, and it wasn't good. So what I did was, don't know if this was healthy for the computer, but I doused the whole board in rubbing alcohol. Now I know that rubbing alcohol evaporates after a couple days and leaves the device still fully functional. Now I wouldn't recommend using it as a way to get rid of like water damage or stuff. It just happened to work for me. But it's still dead. You can see, it doesn't power on. But the battery is fully charged. Battery's fully charged. It doesn't have the play pause buttons or rewind or fast forward like my MacBook does. But you can see, I'll take off the top for you. I have it all taken apart right now. I'm missing half the screws for it because I thought it was broken and tossed all the parts aside, so I have to buy all new parts for it. But I have the essential parts to show you what it does. You know, let me just, I have an external keyboard that doesn't work halfway, and a mouse hooked up to it, but the mouse, I'll get to that later. Just take the keyboard off. Here's the inside. I'm missing one heatsink screw. I have to get that. I'm going to get all new screws for it. But I took off the reason there's electrical tape there is because I took off the protective backing on the airport card to get rid of the corrosion. And I lost it, so I just put electrical tape on it as an insulator. Here's the RAM I put in. This is 2 gig sticks each. And the internal 120 gig hard drive was shot. So I put a 320 gig Seagate in there. Now you'll wonder, how do you know this thing works when it's not powering on? There's a key to turning this thing on that I found out by a complete accident that led me to find out that it works. So if you look here, it says power button and 2 contacts. Well, I don't use those 2 contacts. I'll show you what I use. These 2 contacts right there, if you jump them, the damn thing turns on. And I'll show you that it booted. Boots fine. I was able to install Snow Leopard and then Lion onto the hard drive. No problems at all. The internal drive still works. Mine's dead in my laptop. It doesn't read CDs anymore, only DVDs. The fan kind of broke on me, but I found out there was this little piece of like foam or something from here fell in there. It was making it do that. So it doesn't do that anymore. But I'll show you that it works perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. So you can see, loads up fine. I installed all my programs on it. It's working great. Battery is charged, as you can see. It has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything you possibly want, and everything functions 100%. All ports are fully functional. I'll give you the specs of it. So a little about this Mac, more info. There you go, we got Macbook, 13-inch, mid-2007, I said late, my bad. 2.16 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo, 4 gigabytes of RAM. GMA 950 graphics with 64 megabytes of RAM. Mine has 128 megabytes of video RAM. And software, macOS Lion 10.7.5. And the only update I didn't do yet is the firmware update for the MacBook, because the power button doesn't work and it needs the power button in order to update the firmware. Webcam even works. I'm surprised because mine halfway works on my computer. So this is 100% functional. The speakers are okay. They're better in mine, believe it or not. They don't go as loud in this one, but everything else is functional. Go to dashboard. You can see, here's all the fancy stuff. Temperatures are good. Battery only has 95 cycles on it. Mine has 400 and something cycles on it and is dead. So this is like practically brand new, this computer. They took really good care of it, whoever had it. So everything works. I'll give you... So this is what the inside of a MacBook looks like, if you didn't know. I never knew until I wasn't going to take mine apart. So I took this one apart. I mean, the heatsink is definitely on good enough. As I used the this thermal compound on it. I have the cheaper stuff, but I figured this is a good MacBook that works. I'm going to use the good stuff on it. So I did. Programs I have on it. The standard Mac programs. And all the Word and stuff. This keyboard, you have to like really bang on the keys in order for it to register. I gotta get a new keyboard. I don't know how loud this is gonna be. It's not that loud to begin with anyway. So yeah, as you can see, and the headphone port works, microphone port works, USB works, Firewire works. Don't know about the display port. My adapter is somewhere in this room. I don't know where it is. Charger is like there's like no scratches on it. You look at my charger over there for my MacBook. It's all like dead and whatnot. So I'm actually really surprised that this thing decided to come back to life. So there's the battery's from 2006. So says the copyright date. Let me just crank this once again. Listen to it. So that's that. Now, I looked it up on eBay. This part in good condition, because this one is cracked, like any MacBook from 2007, 2006 cracks. Mine is cracked too. Mine's cracked from here all the way to here is cracked. The bezel up there is cracked on mine. It's just a design flaw. So this is cracked, but it's not off yet. This is like 50 to 60 bucks, or 30 to 60 bucks, I might say. Depends on condition. So everything works but the power button, which is baffling to me. And I hope it's not motherboard related. I hope it's just this top cover related issue and not motherboard. Because if it's motherboard, the laptop's shot to me. So I can't turn it on with the keyboard, and I have to jump the connectors, and it's not worth it. But I'm definitely gonna try that. I'm gonna buy that this weekend. I have to get the piece that goes here and around here. I lost that. I lost almost the screws. The remaining screws I have are right there. And there are not enough screws to hold this thing together. So I gotta get the screws, that piece, screws piece, top cover. So that's 3 things I gotta get. Maybe about 60 to 70 bucks, and I got myself, if I kept my shit neat, would have had it for free. But again, I thought this laptop was shot, and it was gonna go back in the trash. The only thing I wanted out of it was the screen and the super drive, because, oh, the battery, because those are parts that would fit my MacBook. Now, these little temperature sensors right here, I broke one of the connectors. As you can see, that connector's broken. They're the hardest things to put back in. And as you can see, it's got some corrosion on it. So there is evidence of liquid or moisture in this computer. But I've been testing it for 3-4 days, and it functions 100% fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing really else to show you on it. It's just a MacBook. If you know what a MacBook does. I got iLife 11 on here. iTunes, whatever the latest version of iTunes is, I got on here. iTunes 11.1.1, I think. So this has shocked me. Oh, I'll tell you how I found out it works. My hand was on the CPU in Northbridge, and I was jumping connectors over the power button, and all of a sudden it started getting warm, and I was like, that's a good sign. And then it got really warm, and then I said that's a really good sign, so I threw RAM in it, and all of a sudden it chimed, white screen came on, and I had to put the heatsink back on it, but then once I booted it up, the flashing folder icon came up, and I knew it worked. I threw, this was my old MacBook hard drive. I threw that in there, booted into it, booted fine. Because the original 120 gig, that's not it, the 120 gig that Apple gave you with it didn't work. It kernel panicked and wouldn't recognize. So, yeah, you got like Launchpad now online. I haven't used Lion. I'm stuck on Snow Leopard on my MacBook. I don't want to upgrade it because I got too much shit on there. But this, I figured, what the hell? I'll upgrade. This is the Max OS this thing supports. It only supports up to Lion. Doesn't support Mountain Lion. I looked it up. So, again, they're forcing computers into obsolescence before they are due. Because this is a Core 2 Duo in here. 4 gigs of RAM. This thing's completely capable of running any latest operating system they have. They're just being assholes and saying go buy a new computer if you want the latest features. But I don't care. Listen, I'm still running a G4 with Leopard on it. And that works fine for me. A little slow, but it works. That's about it for this computer. There's nothing else to show you. Alright. I mean, it's only got 64 megabytes of video RAM, so it's not a good gaming machine. It would have been nice if it was a MacBook Pro, though. The screen, I don't think... The sleep works and everything works. Goes into sleep mode and everything. I don't know where the switch is for it. I don't see it anywhere here. The speakers are so-so. They have a little, what they call a subwoofer. But it's more than a subwoofer, because I covered up. Only highs come out of these speakers. So this is like mid-range and bass, or what they call bass. So it's a nice system. What they got going on, I've seen in most laptops. My Airport Express is still being picked up, which is right over there. I use that for my printer, right there. I haven't yet to try to stream music to it yet. But I got iLife 11 I put on here, which I guess got iMovie, iPhoto. I think those are the only 2 programs I installed, and iDVD. And Word 11 or 10 on here. That's it for this computer. What I hate about Lion is the opposite scrolling. Like, down goes up and up goes down. So I had to get rid of that. But once I got rid of that, it works fine. So that's that. Peace out.